Hello Gemini, how are you? It's me, Lauren, with the Untitled Tarot. Welcome back. If you're frequent flying again, welcome. If it's your first time in, don't mind me. I'm gonna put my feet up. I'm getting very old and my body hurts. We're gonna do your weekly spread a little bit different this week. You know me, always changing things up. But I've been noticing, and I got a couple downloads that all the tarot cards are I think they're freaking people out. I think they're like just like literally like all the physical, like the Tower card and like the Three of Swords, and there's a lot of like ending of cycles and beginning of new cycles. We have the Scorpio full moon coming up on the 7th, and it feels a little bit like a pressure cooker right now. We're all going through it, so I was very much given the impression that it might be nice for everyone to maybe take a break from the traditional tarot and move in a little bit in some animal oracle cards. So that's what we're going to do today. I have the Spirit Animal Oracle deck, and I also have the Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle deck from the Wild Kingdom. So we're working with the animals. We're going to get back to basics, basic instinct, primal nature. This is how we're going to do it. It's too many knights and swords, and there's just too much crap flying around. It's giving everybody agita, including myself. So let us begin, Gemini. Let us begin. I want to see where you're at right now, my Gemmies. What's your energy looking like? What animal spirit are you embodying? What's going on? Where are you in your alignment process right now? All over the place, maybe. Oh, this card keeps coming up for everybody. Everybody's doing shadow work. Oh, everybody's doing shadow work. Welcome to the jungle, baby. Let's see if we get anything else out for you. Oh, okay. Interesting, Gemini. All right, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take it because it feels right. Interesting, Geminis. Okay, so first out, your Earth energy, you have the snake, right? That's those cycles that we're talking about. If you notice, this snake's kind of, it's not really eating itself alive, but kind of. Sometimes you have to do that, right? When you kind of grow into these new aspects of yourself, these new level ups in your life. It's almost kind of like you have to eat the young, you know? Chew it up and spit it out. It's like when a snake sheds its skin, your old self, your old life, the old patterns of behavior, the old systematic ways you used to think about things. It all has to go. Everything must go sail. Spring cleaning, right? This is you closing up these cycles, going inside, kind of like lighting up these different colors and your little different chakras, trying to piece them all together. Figure out a little bit what alignment is for you. Like, what is the new normal for you? How does normal feel now? What feels good? What doesn't feel good? It's like very much, excuse me, my throat chakra. It's very much a sense of you guys like getting back in touch with yourself, like kind of having to recalibrate and then figure out like what that good middle point feels for you, because it seems as though it's different now than it used to be. Next up, you have the Panther. This has been coming out a lot so far. This is a shadow work card. It's a little bit of the dark side of your moon, right? That inner, that personal power. A lot of people can be afraid of it. A lot of people call it like the bad side of you. I don't believe that any side of you is bad personally, but it's those aspects of you that could really attack, right? That could do some damage. But when you go in and you do the work and you control them, then it ends up being your personal bodyguard, right? So when other negative energies or negative people or just like devilish behavior, you know, when the devil comes knocking at your door, when your inner shadow, your work is done and controlled and in alignment, then your inner shadow opens the door to the devil and says like, I'm the only bad bitch that gets in here. Sorry, Satan. See you later. Right? But interestingly enough, and not just before I digress, before I go any farther, part of going in and closing out these cycles and shedding your skin and figuring out like what is your new happy medium, like what is your new normal, what feels good to you now. My nose is really itchy, so I might be getting on track. That might be right. You have to go in and you have to do this shadow work, right? Within all these little glowing orbs of this little light bright that is your soul, there also is a backdrop of darkness, right? Because you find this alignment in the dark, where it doesn't feel good, where it feels cold and lonely and aggressive, right? You have to go in and you have to see through it and chew it up. So that way you can create this space to kind of get your chakras back in alignment, complete these cycles for yourself so you can start anew. And it's interesting that you have this Lamb card, so different from this Panther energy, right? This is almost more of like your higher self, and this is a little bit more of your shadow, kind of having to work in unison with one another to accomplish this alignment. Because following up, you have the Stingray card. I don't normally take these cards in reverse, but if they tell me to take them in reverse, then do what you're told. But this is a card again of all your chakras, all coming up, ding, 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 all in alignment. In reverse, it tells me that right now maybe it's not necessarily you. This could also be like somebody in your environment is maybe not feeling super balanced, and they're kind of going back and forth between like working with their higher self and then doing their shadow work, and working with their higher self and going in and doing that shadow work, trying to close out and end these cycles, right? Because it's hard to do that, because in order to do that, you have to go in and deal with all the crap that not only happened during that cycle, that was done to you during that cycle that you had to experience, but also what part you played in all of it, while also trying to stay like super high vibe and like manifesting like the brightest future possible for yourself. And it's weird to find balance in that, like nobody talks about how hard it is, they're just like, just purge the past and let it go, and just be really hopeful for the future, but don't have any expectations. And that you're like, wait, what? Am I supposed to walk, chalk, chew gum? I don't understand. But that's what's happening. It can make you feel, the process of trying to find balance can make you feel a little bit more unbalanced than you felt before you started the process. I know. Like 7-Eleven is that. Like, I know. I've been there. I have a summer house there. Like, I hear you. I do. But that's okay, because you're going to get there. You're absolutely going to get there. I love this Lamb card. And I love it because you're Gemini. So it's like, you're the two kind of polar opposites working together. I feel like a Gemini for the air signs is what a Pisces is for the water signs, right? You do both at the same time. Right? It's like this inner part of you that's like really kind of sweet and like wants to do everything and wants to be balanced and wants to make good and healthy decisions and like stay very high road about it. And then there's this other part of you that's like, let me at him. Or parts of you that want to tear yourself down a little bit, and parts of you that are like, no, like I shouldn't be so hard on myself. Like I'm going to get there. You are going to get there. I can see like your little mental like, Gemini. Okay. No, I didn't, no, I don't agree with that. I want to see what's going on in the environment. Sea servant. What's going on in the environment? Other than divine orchestration. So yeah, it's big cycles. 2 big cycles for yourself. It's like as above, so below, right? It's like this very kind of esoteric soul contract timeline, divine cycles at play, while also very kind of 3D karmic, in your head, in your feels cycles going on for you too. That's how it works. As above, so below. As within, so without. We experience these larger symbolic changes personally in like everyday aspects of our life without realizing it until so much time later. Eagle! Wow! Look at that. Eagle with the sea serpent. This is like a justice card for me. This is truth, illumination. So it's just a sense of not pride, not patriotism. What is the word? Honor. Honor? What is in the environment? Justice? Divinely guided justice? What is this? Fire ant in reverse. Moving away from conflict. Away from conflict in reverse. Because the fire ant, it's a pressure building energy, right? It's like, imagine when you stub your toe or something. You know how you get that pain in your hand, or like you slam your hand in the car door? It's that wonging. It's like that wong, that throbbing. That's what this card feels like, right? It's that pressure, like it's coming in, it's coming in, it's coming in, it's coming in. It's like the impending. But in reverse, it's the opposite. It's the dispersion. Something is being orchestrated. I don't know if it's for you, if it's for someone else and you're just hearing about it. But something is being orchestrated. This feels like the end, and this feels like the beginning. And part of it is there's going to be a message, or there's going to be some kind of justice, some kind of truth, some kind of justice that's going to come in, and it's like a dispersion. It's like it's breaking it up. It's like a truth bomb. Some kind of information, some kind of judgment. It feels almost like legal. There is like a legal aspect that I feel about it, Gemini, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be like karma at play. But it feels like whatever this is, feels like the sun underneath it. It almost feels like it's like dropping it, and it hits land, and it breaks the crowd apart. Like whatever was coming in, throbbing, like the pressure was building, whatever this is that's gonna come in, everybody's gonna go running for the hills. It's like a truth bomb. Okay. Damn, I said I wasn't gonna use any tarot cards. I wanna go in that room and pull out a tarot card so bad. I'm not going to though. Okay, let's see what your strengths are. So this is what you're doing. You're finishing up a cycle for yourself, Gemini, to recap. Like I said, energies could be vice versa or flipped. You know, time is not linear. Namaste. But this is what you're doing up here. You were trying to balance your shit out. You're closing out cycles. You're trying to deal with your dark work. You're trying to work with your higher self to stay as high vibe as you possibly can. You're not maybe feeling as balanced as you possibly could. A little bit of it's like you're like waiting for something, right? Probably waiting to feel better, waiting to feel in balance. Waiting like that new calibration, like, okay, this is the new, it's like when you rode a bike when you were 8, it's different when you ride a bike when you're 22. Balance, center of gravity is all different. And then while you're doing all of this is happening. It feels like outside of maybe your awareness. I don't know if this is gonna get dropped on you, or if you're the one dropping it, or if you're one of these little ants scurrying away, but I don't know. But while you're doing this, you're just minding your own business, getting your shit in line. There's some kind of divinely orchestrated justice, truth bomb information that's going to come down. And when it does, whatever situation felt like there was a lot of pressure, a lot of throbbing, it's gonna disperse everyone. Because it almost feels like with all that red, it almost feels like a fight is like trying to come in, and it breaks the fight up. Okay, Gemini. So in your strengths, you have the Swan and you have the Turtle. 2 water cards, which is interesting for an air sign. Getting in your water element is actually going to be benefiting you. This Swan card is a card of self-reflection, mirroring, right? Being able to look around at our situations, our environments, and then being able to reflect that back on ourselves. How is this situation? How is this conversation? How is this relationship reflecting what I'm doing, reflecting how I'm being, the energy that I'm putting out there, right? Like, hypothetically, say you're interested in somebody and you're talking to them and you feel like they're not, like, you're kind of breadcrumbing you a little bit. You stop for a second and you think about it and you go, oh, well, actually, maybe I'm also not being, like, super emotionally available, or, like, maybe I'm being a little bit avoidant, or maybe, like, I'm playing games, like, they texted me an hour ago, so I'll wait 45 minutes to text them back. It's one of those things. Like, how is this situation, how is this relationship, how is my environment reflecting something about me right now, right? How can I take what I'm seeing right now, experiencing, how can I take it in? How can I use that? How can I put it in a little bit of the recycling bin, right? Let my shadow self deal with it, spit it out, let my higher self transmute whatever I can from it and help get myself back into this alignment. And the way we do that is slow and steady, which it seems like you're doing. I think it seems like you understand that this is like a process and a cycle, and it takes time and it takes a certain amount of patience, even though I know that's not a word that my Gemini and people love. But slow and steady really does win the race. And another thing with this card with turtles is that these are one of the oldest, turtles are reptiles, right? I think turtles are reptiles. But it's one of the oldest creatures that exist. It's like humpback whales and alligators. You know what I mean? So it's slow, but it's built wisdom over the time through those tiny motions, those tiny, tiny steps. And it's also about not overexerting yourself, right? Getting yourself so upset or letting yourself get like so depressed or letting yourself be impulsive in any kind of way. Just keeping things balanced. That reflection, a mirror, balance, wisdom, taking your time, going through the motion, allowing these circles, these wheels to turn for yourself. That is in your strengths right now. That is very, very good. It will keep you calm when whatever this drops down, drops down. I'll tell you that, girl. Or boy. Gemini. So what are your weaknesses? How are you gonna get back on your bullshit? What are your weaknesses, Gemini? Oh, 2. Ooh. Oh, you want 3? Okay. Damn, that's rough, Spirit. They got 3 weaknesses. They didn't give us the other sign. Just kidding. Okay, so you got the Frog Spirit. So normally, okay, this is a card about cleansing. It's about rejuvenation. It's about going in, purging. This is coming up in your weaknesses. And then after that, you have the Peacock Spirit. This is a very regal spirit. It's very beautiful. It's very creative. It's also a little bit of a protective energy. It's very regal in the sense of not like a stuck up, like too good to be around you peasants kind of way. It's very much of it feels very like a 9 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles energy. Very self-sufficient, right? Focused. I'm beautiful. I can stand in my own right. I can be admired, but I can also protect myself, right? And then you have the Starfish out. And the Starfish normally is almost a little bit of a peacock spirit. It can be very expressive and very creative and very beautiful and like really shine and be like a little beacon that people are attracted to. In reverse, it could be a little bit of like a superficiality. So it tells me that if your strengths are really kind of being able to stay balanced, work on your balance, reflect situations in yourself, kind of go with the flow, go nice and slow, that if that's the case for your strengths, that for your weaknesses, what I believe it's telling you to do is don't get so bored. I almost want to say bored. Like in the process of the slow and steady, because you are a Gemini, like you do need a certain amount of stimulation. Intellectual, otherwise, that's your business. But it's almost, I'm getting the sense of like dark cloud over my head, like almost like as you're sitting here, like purging your shadow and like doing everything that you're supposed to do, it's almost like you get sad a little bit, like in the waiting, in the slowness. And instead of this water coming down like nice and clear to like, you know, fresh tears to like water the soil for your new beginning, it's almost like you're like raining on your own parade a little bit. Don't rain on your own parade. Don't get like stuck in a little bit of like a woe is me, because it's like, I'm never gonna be aligned. Like I'm never gonna get it all together. Like I'm never gonna get this right. Like I'm never just gonna get it. Like, don't do that. Don't do that, because this is now coming off a little bit to me as like pride, right? And over here, this is like superficiality. It's almost like, don't get so bored or frustrated in the process, because it feels like almost like every time you think you get a little bit ahead, or you like you get something on track in terms of like your alignment or your spiritual growth, whatever it is, it seems like it like you hit another wall, and then it's like the universe throws something else at you to fix. Like, here, go purge this. Go in and purge that. Okay, well, what about this? Okay, well, what about your inner child? And you're like, well, what the? Like, feels like you're never gonna be done. Like you're never gonna be fixed. Like you're never gonna be healed up and like ready to go. And you're trying to be patient. And you're trying to do what you're supposed to do. But it almost feels like you're getting frustrated in that process a little bit. And so you're almost your ego, your panther is kind of coming out as a little bit of like pride and like maybe a little superficiality. Someone's like, well, I don't even want to do this. Like, what's this for anyway? What is all of this for anyway? Like, is it even worth it? Like, meh, like raining on your own parade, being a little pouty, a little prideful, a little superficial. Like, I don't see the fruits of my labor anyway. So like, why do I keep? That's a little bit what it feels like. So okay. So that's your weakness. So don't do that, because that's not great. Let's see. We're gonna get you on track, Gemmies. Don't worry. We got high hopes. So tell me, what should Gemini do? What should we be embodying to help us deal with this? Because there's something happening. We don't know what. Oh. Okay. Never read them in reverse, but the last day or so, all I want to do is read them in reverse if that's how they come out. Unleash the Kraken. That's what I just heard. I don't know if somebody needs a drink. Maybe somebody needs to have like a rum and coke. I just heard unleash the Kraken. The bee's coming out too. Everybody's working on something. And ooh. Who did I just do? Aries. I just did Aries. I don't know if you're dealing with an Aries, but they also got the panther, the camel, and the bee as well. So that's very interesting. So you might be dealing with an Aries. Maybe Aries is the one dropping this little firebomb. First up, we have the camel energy. What are camels about? This is about your reserves, right? It's a lot about like your wisdom, your life lessons, the things that you've learned, the tools that you have in your toolbox, whether it be emotional, whether it's your pentacles, whether it's your different skill sets, your passions, your spirituality. It's what you take with you. You put in your camel hump because you know that is what you will need to sustain you, right? Which again, may be different than what it was up here. And because it's coming out in reverse, it's telling me that there's something you're not seeing. There's something you're missing. And you have the oyster out here. There's something inside of this oyster. There's something in here that you're not seeing yet. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it came out directly underneath this. It looks like the eagle is dropping a pearl into the oyster. And then you have the bee out, which is that hardworking energy. Wait a second. It's divinely guided justice. And it's going to disperse some kind of crowd, some kind of situation. The eagle is dropping the pearl into the oyster. Are you the oyster, Gemini? Is this like an opportunity or some kind of justice that's coming in to you? Because the camel in reverse tells me that it's either you need to stock up on new reserves or your reserves are spent. Like you're just tired and you're at the end of this cycle, perhaps. Or it tells me that you're getting new reserves. That's what this is. I don't know if there's a situation that's going on for you. Maybe that's part of the pride and the I don't want to say superficiality because I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it in an offensive way. Or like the woe is me. Are people watching you? Is that part of this? Do you guys feel like people are watching you waiting for something, and the longer it takes for it to come in, you feel like people are like judging you? Is that why you feel out of balance? Is that why your shadow side is acting up right now? Because it is the end of a cycle, so that's normal, but it feels like this may be activated because you've been waiting for this. You've been waiting for this pearl. The eagle brings the justice, but the pearl is the knowledge. and it puts it in this oyster for you, and that is what disperses. You get an opportunity, you get a clarity, you get to make a decision about something. It's to you. It's like a karmic gift to you from the universe, and it's basically going to shut everybody up, or it's going to get everybody off your case or off your back, or it's going to disperse this issue for yourself. And with this B energy, that's that hardworking, focused energy. It's like a nightlight kind of, you know. It's like you got the heart chakra. It's a labor of love. You got the little blue right there. Throat chakra, expression. The yellow, that's solar. It's creativity. It's that passion. Yellow. And you're gonna be able to work on it. I want to know what happens here, Gemini. I would like to know. What's on the bottom of this? The black egg! They just fucking Aries just got the black egg too! What's going on? I'm so sick of you guys. You guys are out of control. Don't be dealing with an Aries. Gemini. Is the universe delivering you an Aries? Is that all that like fire energy? It's like oyster. It's like an empty shell. I'm hearing like empty house. Like something like empty house. Empty shell until this pearl gets dropped into the oyster. And I feel like that's the work. That's the work, is the pearl is gonna get dropped into this oyster for you. It's that opportunity that's gonna, maybe this is competition, and it'll dispel some kind of competition for a person or a job. And part of what is supposed to happen is you're supposed to take out all of the reserves that you've been keeping, Gemini, you've been keeping in your hump, and you're supposed to put them to work now in order to crack open this oyster and take out the pearl. They're not just dropping you the pearl. It's like they're giving it to you, but with a job to do. They're like, it's here, but you gotta unlock it and get it. Interesting. Very interesting, Gemini. Cool. What? Okay, let's get some advice for you before this gets any longer. My videos were like getting shorter, and now they're getting longer again. I get so excited. The stories sometimes are like, what? It's crazy. Oh, we got one. Oh, we got two. Oh, snap. Holy snap. Rhino Spirit. Card number 50. Overcome any obstacle. Looks like it shouldn't be too hard for you. 5, that's number change. 48. Porcupine Spirit. Time for a beginner mind. Right? Taking out all your tools. They're not going to work. They're not going to work to open this oyster, so camels don't really take with them in the desert what an oyster needs to crack itself open, so you better get to work. Time for that beginner mind. They're going to drop in that opportunity for you, that person. Something's going to happen. The competition, whatever's going to disperse. You're going to have an opportunity. I'm almost seeing like a welder or like a miner, somebody like putting on a hat. It's like focus. It's like a focused energy. Anything else? Okay, one more. I love it. 13, Cat Spirit. Claim your independence, right? For me, this is about you claiming your independence from that old cycle. This is new now. Dump out the reserves. The cycle's over. You're an air sign. You've been swimming around in all this stuff. Let's get into some water, right? And look, it's an oyster. Remember how we were talking about your strengths right now, even though you're an air sign, is being in your water element. Claim your independence from this old cycle. 13, that breaks down to a 4. So that's a number of stability. My little Geminis, you're gonna find stability. Hard work's good for the soul. This was so cool. If this resonates with you, let me know what happens, because I want to know what's inside this oyster for you, and I want to know if you cracked it open. I have no doubt that you will. But thank you very much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this. It was lovely to do it for you. All the information should be in the description box. Comment below if you want to chat. Subscribe if you want to keep hanging out with me on this wild journey we're on. And until then, have a good week, Gemini. Enjoy cracking open your oyster. Bye-bye.